21st century schizoid man. Doon, doo, doo, doon, doon, doon. These are my lucky 13 from 1969. I couldn't do just 10, and I left a whole mess of them that I have on CD out, just showing the vinyl. I got Tommy there, everybody knows this Nowhere, Dylan, Flying Burrito Brothers, blah blah, goes on and on. So first of all, you have to have King Crimson, because you just have to. When the 21st century schizoid man comes on, it just goes boom! It hits you in the face. It's like, what the heck is this? So next up I got 10 Years After. Shh, don't tell anybody. And this is a gatefold, and this is a good album. I like 10 Years After anyways. There's the middle, got the light shining on it and everything else. Shh. Boy, they had some great covers in 69. I thought they were good in 68, but I think 69 actually outdoes them. So next we got On the Threshold of a Dream, the Moody Blues. You couldn't go to a party without the Moody Blues. And this is also a gatefold with some pretty neat artwork on it. If we can, there we go. And it's got something in here. It's got got a little booklet in here. Forgot it was in there. And what's it got on it? Lyrics and stuff. Look at that. Inside the gatefold, then we got a picture of the guys. These are the Moody Blues. Yes, sir, Bob. Okay, next we're going to, like I said, these aren't in any order. These are just as I'm taking it off the pile. And there's a monster on the loose with his head in a noose. This is Steppenwolf at their most political. It's called Monster. And it's unleashing the monster of the government. And that is massive gatefold there with a pretty crazy picture. And here's the guys here standing in front of, I don't know, a bunch of colored stuff, a bunch of colored tubes. So next up we got Quicksilver Messenger Service in Shady Grove, and Nicky Hopkins is on this album. And there's a really long, there's the guys in here, they're all dubbed out in Western Affair, which is pretty good, pretty big in San Francisco circles. And it's a whole painting on this cover with a horse and everything else in it. Man, that light, I gotta get softer lights. And Shady Grove, Quicksilver Messenger Service. And one of my favorite bands of all time is Jethro Tull. This is Stand Up, their second album. You can't do without this one either. And it's got a little picture of them facing the other way on the back. And a whole bunch of flowery stuff inside there. Like very English, you know. But lots of great songs on here. It's a New Day Yesterday. I mean, nothing is easy. Great album. And everywhere you went, you heard Led Zeppelin's first album. I mean, this was revolutionary for the blues. They took blues songs and turned them inside out. And some people called it plagiarism, but I call it reinventing the blues with Led Zeppelin. It's first album, by the way. And next up, my favorite album cover of all time is Hot Rats by Frank Zappa. I love this cover. I mean, it's so creepy and so surrealistic. Oh, it's great. And it's got all kinds of neat pictures inside. Now, I remember when we got this album, shortly afterwards, we were watching a Charlie Chaplin marathon, and I thought, oh, I bet you Frank Zappa's instrumental stuff will go great with that. And guess what? Charlie Chaplin plus Frank Zappa's Hot Rats goes together like wine and cheese and all that kind of stuff. Next up, of course, you gotta have Abbey Road. I mean, it just has to be there. There's no two ways about it. And there's only with Maxwell's Silver Hammer, I can do without that. And actually, Octopus's Garden. So I don't think I played side one very often, although it had I Want You, She's So Heavy on it. But I definitely played side two more. And one of my top 5 favorite groups of all time, the Jefferson Airplane and Volunteers. And it's got a little bit of reading material on the back. And it's got a peanut butter and jam sandwich. I think in the States you call it peanut butter and jelly, but up here I call it peanut butter and jam. So this is pretty well a Jefferson Airplane. That's sort of their political finest. So Volunteers. Next up, you gotta have a Rolling Stone record. So I have Let It Bleed. Of course, Let It Bleed. You gotta have Let It Bleed on there. It's got Midnight Rambler on it. You heard about the nonsense? Love in Vain, and you got the Silver Country thing, and You Can't Always Get What You Want. This is it. We covered You Can't Always Get What You Want all the time. And we got Mr. Grand Funk Railroad, otherwise known as the Red Album, because it is basically, it's red, just like the Beatles' White Album is white. This is red, and there they are. Get out of the glare there. Oh my God, my lights are too strong. So that's Grand Funk, and that's got Paranoid on it. I love their version of Paranoid. It's not the Black Sabbath version, it's their own. And Mr. Limousine Driver, gotta have this Grand Funk Railroad. And last but not least is a Salty Dog by another of my favorite groups, Procol Harum. And this is The Devil Came from Kansas, one of my favorite songs by Procol Harum, with Robin Trower featured on guitar. Can't beat it. So I think that's my it's my Luckle 13. It's my Lucky 13 of 1968 on vinyl.